Hi everyone, welcome to your full moon in Taurus reading. This is Pythia's Prophecy Tarot, and we're going to start with the sign of Scorpio. Happy birthday, Scorpios. So let's get started and see what's the message for you this full moon. These are general, okay, so if it doesn't resonate, please check your other placements. Okay, let's see. What is the energy or the message coming in for Scorpio this full moon, which is tomorrow? Full moon in Taurus. What's the message for Scorpio? Full moon in Taurus, message for Scorpio. We've got the Ace of Wands, the Three of Swords, and one more. The Nine of Pentacles. Okay. The Two of Pentacles. So it seems like decision time, Scorpio. You may have been going back and forth about something, and now it's time to make a decision. Okay, with the Ace of Wands, there's something new that you wish to pursue, a new passion, something that's got you fired up. With the Three of Swords, though, there is some heartbreak here, or some, like it's a sort of situation that is not going to please everybody. And with the Nine of Pentacles, there's a need to be independent and pursue this. Okay, it's a tough call because it might hurt other people. So let's see, what is this about for Scorpio? Scorpio, full moon in Taurus. Okay, Scorpio, why is the Ace of Wands there? We've got Three of Cups and Temperance. Yeah, some of you have, it could be a new love interest, okay, someone that you wish to go towards. For some of you, you're just inspired maybe to get married, okay, with the Three of Cups and Temperance, or reconcile with someone. Now let's look at this Three of Swords. Why is that there? The Tower and the Eight of Wands. Yeah, I think the thing is that in going towards this, Scorpio, you are disrupting the status quo. Okay, there's some status quo that will be disrupted if you move on, and it's something that's not going to sit well with some other people. Okay, now let's look at the Nine of Pentacles, the Four of Swords, and one more, Ten of Swords. Yeah, I mean, the thing is that you may be taking some time out to think about this, because, this move is going to be seen as a betrayal by some people. You going your own way, you making this choice for yourself is going to be seen as a betrayal. Okay, that's what I'm getting. But with Three of Cups and Temperance, it's a good energy. I mean, for some of you, you could even be planning to get married, okay, and for some reason, I don't know, there may be somebody else that's not, family, or that doesn't approve or something of the sort. Okay, now let's look at Temperance. There's Temperance there for Scorpio. Yeah, Three of Cups again, and the Knight of Wands. There may be someone that you are planning to reconcile with. Okay, it's like you see a period of happiness, a period of joy, and you wish to move quickly towards that. Let's look at this Tower. Why is this so disruptive? Why is the Tower there? Seven of Cups. Why is the Tower there? And the Empress. So the Tower is there because the people who are upset with you, Scorpio, they've got some sort of unrealistic ideas about you. They've got some sort of unrealistic expectations maybe of you. Maybe with the Empress, they have always felt that you'd be there, receptive, okay, someone they could count on, and now they see that you are planning to make your own plans and move forward. Okay, that's what I'm getting. Let's look at this. And so they're going to see it as a betrayal, but I don't really think it is. Okay, because with Temperance, it kind of tells me that that's probably the right thing. With the Seven of Cups, it tells me that whatever expectations these people had, it's not realistic. Okay, so they've got some unrealistic expectations of you, and it seems like you're going to put that to an end, and you're going to choose yourself and move on, to whatever this new thing is that you're inspired by. And with justice at the bottom of the deck, as I said, for some of you it is a marriage, and if that's the case, it's the right thing. But even otherwise, we've got the Wheel of Fortune. This is a good move for you, okay? This is a good move. Whoever these people are, they've got unrealistic expectations of you. Okay, so that's what I've got for you, Scorpio. And let's move on to, who are we moving on to? Sag. Okay. So, full moon in Taurus. What's the message here for Sagittarius? What is the message for Sagittarius? Full moon in Scorpio. Full moon in Taurus. What's the message for Sagittarius? Just a second. Let's light some incense here. Okay. Okay. Message for Sagittarius. Full moon in Taurus. What's the message here for Sag? Oh gosh. Okay, we've got the Page of Pentacles, the Page of the Page of Swords, and the Hierophant with the Page of Cups. Page of Pentacles, Page of Swords, and the Hierophant. You could be hearing about a commitment, Sag, or someone could be proposing. Okay, we've got the Page of Cups beneath that. Oh yeah, and the King of Pentacles beneath that. So for some of you, you could be getting a proposal, or you could be giving a proposal. Okay. It's something solid and tangible. Yeah, you're going to hear something as well. You're going to hear something. If it's not just a proposal of marriage, it could be a proposal to join forces in some way, in work maybe, okay, or in some other kind of partnership. Let's see. Why is the Princess of Pentacles there for Sagittarius? What is the Princess of Pentacles there? Ace of Cups. Wow. Okay, and one more. Ace of Wands. Seems like something brand new. Wow, with the Lovers. I mean, if this is a job, you're the chosen one. Okay, for some of you, it could be a job offer or some other sort of offer like that, and you're the chosen one. Let's look at the Princess of Swords. The Emperor and the Fool. Yeah, someone's going to take a chance on you. That's what I'm getting. This Emperor is going to take a chance on you. Okay. You're going to hear about this. Let's look at the Hierophant. The Empress. The Knight of Cups and the Nine of Wands. Yeah, with the Six of Cups. I mean, some of you, this could be a proposal. Okay. And someone's taking a chance. Because they see you with this Empress as their match, the one they want to partner up with the Hierophant. This person is willing to commit. Maybe in the past they've been a little guarded against entering into this sort of partnership, whether it's a marriage or a job or whatever. But with you, they're willing to take the risk. They're inspired, and you're going to hear about this, okay? So if it's a job, this person may have been with the Emperor, unwilling to entertain any other partners or investors or whatever, right? And now it's like for you, they're taking the risk, okay? Because they really see you as a match, a good fit. Let's look at this Ace of Cups. Yeah, Five of Swords. And one more. Death. For some of you, you could be, this could be bringing up some mixed feelings for you, okay? It could be, especially if it's in a job, it could be bringing up some mixed feelings because you possibly have to end another job, right? Or something like that. Or there's a change maybe in the way you do things if you're entering into a partnership of some kind. That could be bringing up mixed feelings. Let's look at this Emperor. Nine of Pentacles. And one more. Page of Pentacles. Yeah, this person is a free thinker and very independent. Okay, this Emperor with the Nine of Pentacles, they're used to doing things the way they want it. Okay, they're used to being a solo operator with the Nine of Pentacles. So, as I said, if it's business, then this person has never really wanted to partner up with anyone else, okay? Same if it's love, they haven't really wanted to partner up. But with you, they feel like they're ready to take this step. Okay, they see you as the right match. And so even though with the Fool, it might seem risky, they want to go for it. Let's look at the Fool. Yeah, Wheel of Fortune, you know, they think it's time for a change. They think that this would be a great move for them. Okay, let's look at the Empress. Yeah, Justice, you know, this is the right connection. Why is the Nine of Wands there? The Queen of Wands and the Seven of Cups. Now, this is you, Sag. I think you're this attractive person with the Queen of Wands, whether in business or love, right? You're the attractive option. This could throw up some confusion for you. As I said, you know, with that Nine of Wands, you could be a little guarded because maybe you're not, you know, you have some mixed feelings. Maybe you're used to being on your own, right? But I feel with the Wheel of Fortune as well, it is a really good opportunity. And this person is very sincere with the Emperor. Okay, and they do really think that this is a good fit. So it may be worth considering, you know. Yeah, I think this is definitely an offer that should be looked at seriously because I think you are going to be a little confused and a little defensive, but it looks pretty good. Okay. So yeah, that's what I got for you. That looks pretty good. Okay, so let's move on to Capricorn. Full moon in Taurus. What is the energy? What is the message here for Capricorn? Full moon in Taurus. Message for Capricorn. What's the message here for Capricorn? What is the message here for Capricorn? Ten of Pentacles. Seven of Swords, Four of Wands. With the Seven of Swords right in the middle. So Capricorn, there could be things here that you're deluding yourself about. Okay, with the Three of Wands, it's about expectations, the future, right? You could be deluding yourself. With this Ten of Pentacles and the Four of Wands, it sounds like structures you thought have been stable, have provided stability. You know, you could be... There's something about the future of these things that you don't see, okay? Yeah, there's something you're not seeing clearly. Let's see. It could go either way, I guess. It could be that this isn't as stable as you think, or it could be that it's more stable than you think and, you know, like you don't expect it to be stable. So let's see. Capricorn. Okay, why is the Ten of Pentacles there for Capricorn? Three of Wands. Yeah, there's an expectation, okay? For some of you, it could be an expectation of marriage with the Three of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, with the Star. There's a goal here, and you think it's going to be great, okay? For some of you, it could be a commitment, like a marriage or something. If it's not, it may have to do with a place of work, like you think that it's going to be great fun with the Three of Cups, okay? It's going to be financially stable and an enjoyable place to work. There's some deception here though, like self-deception. Let's look at the Seven of Swords. Yeah, Ace of Swords and one more. Seven, what is this? The Ten of Pentacles, yeah, and the Seven of Pentacles. So there's deception here, right? You're not seeing the truth with the Ace of Swords, the truth of this thing that you think is stable. With the Seven of Pentacles, I think there's a need to be very analytical here. You may be focused on all the wrong things. Okay, I'm getting that for some of you. If it's a job, there could be something that you're focused on. That is, you know, like it's like a focus on the wrong thing. I'm not sure how that plays out. Okay, let's look at this Four of Wands. Yeah, Page of Wands and the Hermit. I think there's a need to take a good hard look here, okay, before you start this. With the Page of Wands, I think it's about what you want, right? With the Four of Cups, it's what you won't settle for, okay? There's something here that you're not seeing. Let me clarify this Ace of Swords. Maybe we'll get more of an idea. Well, actually, let's look at this Three of Wands first. Why is that there? Yeah, Five of Cups. There could be something you regret because your expectations are kind of not realistic. Let's look at that Three of Wands again. Yeah, you might regret losing something that is already stable. Okay, so you might already have a stable job and you're seduced by maybe something that seems stable. Maybe a lot of your friends work there or something like that, or it seems like a cool, fun place, but it's maybe not. Okay, let's look at the Ace of Swords. Yeah, the Lovers, the truth or the choice. You know, there's something to be seen here. Let's look at the Ace of Swords again. The Chariot. Oh no, wait, and the Four of Pentacles. With the Four of Pentacles, it's about holding back, okay? Choosing to hold back from moving towards this, okay? So I think, Capricorn, if you are looking to get married, if you're looking to change jobs, there's a need to be cautious here, okay? Because everything that glitters is not gold, and I feel like this is something glittery, which may not pan out the way you think. Let's look at that Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, the Hanged Man. There's a need to see something differently, you know. There's something about your assumptions about this place of work or relationship or whatever that is not realistic. You may have some false assumptions, you know, like maybe the assumption that it is a fun place to work, for example, maybe that's not really true. Like maybe you haven't really looked into that, you know. There's something of that sort. Okay, let's look at the Hermit. Yeah, Death. Take a good hard look at this, okay, before you end structures that you already have in your life, because I think you already have stability, you already have something that is, and you know, with that Five of Cups, you could wind up really looking back on regret at what you've given up here, okay. So that's a little bit of a cautionary message there, okay. So yeah, you know, question your assumptions, okay. Don't believe anything you've just heard. Like, look into it for yourself. Okay. So that's Capricorn. Let's move on to Aquarius. Aquarius, what is the full moon in Taurus bringing up for you? Aquarius, what's the full moon in Taurus bringing up for you? What's the message for Aquarius? Guys, please take a minute to hit like, share, and subscribe. Okay, it helps the channel so much. It's really hard to get any visibility on YouTube as it is. So anything you can do to support the channel would be appreciated. Okay, so what is the message here for Aquarius? Full moon in Taurus. Queen of Cups. What's the message for Aquarius for this full moon in Taurus? The Fool, we've got the Five of Cups and Strength. Okay, I'll take that. With the Five of Swords. So there's mixed feelings here. Aquarius, there's a feeling of bitterness as well. Okay. With this Queen of Cups, the Fool, the Five of Cups and Strength, it feels like you've got the Fool right in the center. So I think that you may feel a little foolish. You may feel like there's something you regret here, maybe holding back from this person, the Queen of Cups, okay? Somebody who was receptive, I think. And you may feel like you weren't prepared to take a chance on this, okay, relationship, or this could even, you know, this could always be even representing a job, right? An employer that was receptive, but you held back, okay? So let's see, what is this about? Aquarius, what's the message here for Aquarius? Full moon in Taurus, message for Aquarius. Okay, where's the Queen of Cups there for Aquarius? Ace of Cups, Eight of Pentacles, and the Eight of Swords. Yeah, so I think this person you know, it was a chance for something brand new here with the Ace of Cups. a chance to collaborate, but maybe you weren't able to get over your fears about this collaboration, okay? Whether it's a relationship or whatever, with the Three of Wands, you may not have been able to see a future with this person or company or whatever. You had some real concerns here. Now let's look at the Fool, Ace of Wands, and one more, Three of Cups. For some of you, you may have been influenced by friends, okay, or co-workers, This may have seemed risky. This may have seemed, if it was a relationship, it could have seemed like something, like this person may not have, it could be someone who's so different from you that you couldn't see a future with them, you didn't see them fitting in with your friends. Let's look at the Five of Cups. Hierophant reversed, okay, the Five of Cups there. And the Page of Swords. Now there's a lot of regret about this, okay. Let's look at strength as well. There's strength there. Knight of Pentacles and one more. Five of Pentacles. You held back from this person, with this Queen of Cups could represent a job or a person, whatever, but you held back from this. It triggered some insecurities for you. It triggered some insecurities with this Page of Swords and the Hierophant reverse. Now the Hierophant is also learned knowledge, right? Like received knowledge. I feel in the reverse, you learned something that, maybe it wasn't even, like you regret now because you've learned that this was not, at the time you felt that this wouldn't work, okay, for whatever reason. And that was a knowledge that you had got, that this wouldn't work, maybe from friends, it's possible. But I feel now you realize that that's not the case. And there's regret for this. There's regret for giving into your insecurities. Let's look at this Eight of Swords. Yeah, the Fool and the Ten of Wands. It seemed too risky. You weren't prepared to go down this route. You couldn't get over your fears, maybe of the future. Let's look at this Ace of Wands. Ten of Cups. There was a chance for happiness, but I think with this Queen of Cups, let's look at the Three of Cups. The Six of Cups. But your friends from the past, your childhood friends, or if not childhood, just the people you've known for a long time, maybe you didn't see this person fitting in with your friends and family. That's what I feel, okay? You just couldn't see how they would fit in. Now let's look at the Hierophant reversed. Knight of Wands. And the Seven of Swords. Yeah, there's some wrong information that you received here, Aquarius, which made you give up on this person, okay? But with the Knight of Wands and the Seven of Swords, you may have chosen to deceive yourself rather quickly, okay? Because you were already on the fence maybe about this person. I think you liked them, but at the same time, you already had your doubts about how they were going to fit in. And so it's like you acted on that pretty quickly, okay? Let's look at that Page of Swords. Yeah, see, Five of Wands, Five of Pentacles, and the Ace of Wands, You felt that it was going to upset people. This would lead to a lot of conflict. This person wasn't going to fit in. But they're the Empress, okay? They're an Empress energy. I feel like that's the thing. It was a chance of a new life, and you weren't ready for that. You weren't ready, okay? You were still entrenched with your friends, the people you already knew, and you weren't ready for a new life with this person. And so you almost rushed to some kind of judgment about them. Let's look at, and it came from your insecurities, okay? Let's look at the Five of Pentacles. Death. Yeah, you may have ended it with this person and moved on, You moved on. But now I think you've got some mixed feelings. Yeah, we got judgment beneath that. I think you realize that maybe you didn't do right by this person, but maybe you've also realized that you didn't do right by yourself, right? Because you talked yourself out of what looks like a good opportunity here. Okay, so it seems like you're now getting that realization that you cheated yourself. And you're in a period of feeling remorse and regret. Okay, so maybe by the next reading you'll get down to doing something about it. But right now it's bringing up some mixed feelings. Okay, so that's Scorpio. Sorry, what am I saying? That's Aquarius. I'm confused with all of these cards. Okay, so that was Aquarius. Let's move on to Pisces. Full moon in Taurus. What's the message here for Pisces? Message for Pisces. Full moon in Taurus. Message for Pisces. Star. Okay, I'll take that. Death and the Chariot. Wow. Okay. With the Lovers. Okay. Oops. Okay. So it feels like someone's making a choice here, Pisces. Now this could be you. Okay. Making a choice regarding something that was greatly desired with the Star. With the current energy of death, though, it feels like this has ended. It's not just ended, but yeah, maybe the goal itself has changed. Okay, and with the Chariot, there's movement away now from the Star. So what was once desired is no longer desired. Okay, with the Lovers, it feels like a choice has been made. Okay, let's look at this Star. Pisces, what's the message? Oh, Pisces, what's the message here for Pisces? Okay, why is a Star there for Pisces? Nine of Swords, King of Pentacles, and the Six of Cups. So the goal was that, somebody would go it alone, okay, with the Nine of Pentacles, free themselves up to pursue some sort of dream, conquer their fears, maybe around financial stability, right? Maybe around what other people would think, like people from their past or children or whatever. So for someone, it could even have been, the goal could even have been starting a business, for example, on your own, letting go of things that provided stability in the past. Okay. Yeah, let's look at death. There's death there for Pisces. Page of Cups and the Queen of Swords. Yeah, but that offer's kind of dead. Okay, I feel like the choice has been made. There's recognition now that this is not doable, or it's not being, it's not something that is going to be, this is not a viable path. Let's look at the Chariot. And so with the Chariot, a new path has been set. Yeah, with the Hanged Man, seeing the path differently. Queen of Wands and one more, the World. So it feels like there's now this crossroads energy, right? It's time to walk the talk. If it's about pursuing a dream on your own, then it's about quitting that job, facing your fears. And it's like the moment of truth with the Queen of Swords, seeing the truth, okay, of doing this and recognizing that there's an end, that this path is not being like it was like a pipe dream or was just a dream. It's not practical, it's not happening, okay. And with the Chariot, there's movement away. With the Hanged Man, seeing something differently. With the Queen of Wands and the World, now the Queen of Wands is a very confident energy, okay. So it is seeing, maybe even having the confidence, right, to do this. Someone may not be confident enough to do this, okay, because it would mean sacrificing financial stability. And so there's a feeling that there's no confidence now. And so there's movement away from this, okay. If it's a relationship, I mean, it could be a choice between two people and somebody is not ready to make that choice, okay? And the other party sees that they mean to not become single, that they're just moving on, okay? Let's see. Let's start clarifying a little bit more. Okay, Pisces. What's the message here for Pisces? Let's look at this Nine of Swords. Yeah, Six of Swords. There was some movement involved in going towards this goal. It wasn't easy. So, you know, with that Six of Cups as well, if it was about starting a business, for example, for yourself, then there may have been worries about financial stability, right? In going back maybe to, you know, maybe like some of you would have had to go back to where you grew up or where you lived when you were young or something like that. You know, go back home. Let's look at that King of Pentacles. Two of Cups here. If it's a relationship, then somebody thought that they would commit, right? That was a dream. That's now ended. Let's look at this Queen of Swords. I feel that's your energy here. Where's the Queen of Swords there? Ten of Wands. Yeah, it's too heavy. It's too difficult. Okay, so going back to the past is too difficult. Or being done with the past. Okay, so if it's a job, as I said, maybe this move is just too difficult and there's a recognition that this is not going to happen. Let's look at the Hanged Man. Justice. Yeah, maybe there are legalities that are standing in the way. You know, legal contracts that would prevent this move. Let's look at the Queen of Wands. Six of Pentacles. I think it's about having the confidence to choose what's best for you, Pisces. Okay, let's look at the World. Yeah, there's a decision made to not follow that star that was in the past. If it's about a job or something, then it feels like the right thing, okay, for you. If you're closing this out, because it feels like that move would have been too heavy. For some, if it's a relationship, you know, it could be, as I said, somebody could be partnered and they're finding it too difficult to end that, okay? And so they're moving away. They're moving away from the relationship. You know, it just seems too difficult, okay? So that's for some of you, okay? So that's Pisces. Let's move on to Aries. Okay, Aries. Full moon in Taurus. Okay, full moon in Taurus for Aries. What's the message? Message for Aries. Full moon in Taurus. Aries, what is the message? Full moon in Taurus. Message for Aries. What is this? Ace of Cups, Nine of Cups, Knight of Pentacles with a Wheel of Fortune. Wow. There's something fated here, Aries. Okay. A fated new beginning with this Ace of Cups. With the Nine of Cups, it seems like it's everything you could wish for. Wow. Okay. I think that's your energy, the Knight of Pentacles, okay? I mean, it's not a very Aryan energy, but I feel like that's more you here. Okay. Okay, wow. Let's have a look. Let's see. This is a fated, if it's a dream, if it's a job, for example, you're getting something you truly desire here, okay? Let's look at the Ace of Cups. Eight of Cups and one more. Two of Cups. Yeah, there's a chance for happiness here. There's a chance to pursue something. It wouldn't mean leaving something else behind. Okay, like it's to move towards this, you'd have to leave something else behind, which makes sense if it's a job. Okay, but also if it's a relationship, maybe you have to move. For some of you, you may have to move. Let's look at the Nine of Cups, Seven of Swords, and one more. Seven of Cups. So this is what you want, Aries. With the Nine of Cups, it seems like everything you could desire. But with the Seven of Swords and the Seven of Cups, there's some... you are kind of deluding yourself. With the Seven of Cups and the Nine of Cups, maybe you don't see this wish. You know what they say, be careful what you wish for? I mean, I don't know, there's something here. It's very odd because with the Two of Cups, it seems like a good opportunity. But then with the Seven of Cups, there is some confusion, okay? And with the Seven of Swords, there's some, I mean, maybe you're confused, right? Like it seems too good to be true. I don't know. Let's see. Let's look at this Prince of Pentacles. Why is that there? The King of Pentacles. And the Fool. Okay, so, exactly. And with the Nine of Cups again, for some of you, if it's in the realm of a job, it could seem risky. Okay, like, and with the Nine of Pentacles energy, you may be slightly risk averse. And you'd have to take a leap of faith. And it's throwing up some confusion. You're not sure now, But I think with the Wheel of Fortune, it's kind of fated and it's a good move. Let's see. Let's look at that Eight of Cups. Nine of Swords. Yeah, I think you have a lot of anxiety about leaving the other job or whatever, because with the Tower, it is going to be disruptive. There's something disruptive there. Maybe you could just move, like change locations, move countries. Yeah, for some of you with the Wheel of Fortune, it could even be a move of a country. Let's look at the Seven of Swords. Strength and the Eight of Swords. For some of you, you could be wondering if you're up to this challenge of this job or this new opportunity, and trying to talk yourself out of it. Yeah, listening to your insecurities. Okay, listening to your insecurities. Not feeling like you can do this, but that's just self-delusion. You can do it. Let's look at that Seven of Cups. Three of Cups, Two of Swords. Yeah, there's confusion here. Maybe you're not sure if you'll be happy at this job. There's uncertainty. You may not be sure if you like the culture there. Okay, something of the sort. But it's. I think your fears are. You're sort of deluding yourself with your fears. Okay, when you should be facing them. Like I think if it's a job, this feels like a big move. It feels like a big move. Yeah, with the Fool as well, it feels risky. Let's look at the King of Pentacles. Where's the King of Pentacles there? The Magician. You may be wondering if this is the best move for you, for your financial stability. Should you do this? Let's look at the Fool. Ace of Pentacles and the Two of Wands. Yeah, I mean, you have a chance and you're at the crossroads. It's now time to jump, right? To take a leap of faith. I think the only thing holding you back here, Aries, is your own fears. And with strength, I think you're meant to face them, okay? Because you're deluding yourself with your fears. It's causing a lot of confusion. Same thing if it's a relationship, okay? There could be a move. It could seem like a big move. Maybe some of you have to relocate to be with someone, right? Maybe you have to move somewhere you've never been. You're not sure you can do this. You're not sure you can pull this off. And there's confusion about this, okay? Okay, but it tells me with the Wheel of Fortune, it will be good. And it's also fated, so I don't know. Give it some serious thought here. Okay, so that's Aries, and let's move on to Taurus. Okay, Taurus. What is this full moon in Taurus bringing up for you? Full moon in Taurus. What's the message here for Taurus? What's the message here for Taurus? Full moon in Taurus. What's the full moon in Taurus? Message for Taurus. Taurus, what's the message here for Taurus? Okay. 9 of Wands, 3 of Cups, and 3 of Swords with the Queen of Swords. Taurus. Okay, so for some of you, I mean, you don't want to take a chance on something. Okay, with the, you know, you with the 9 of Wands, there's a defensive air, there's a guarded quality. And for some of you with this Queen of Swords as the underlying energy, it could be that you discern the need to guard yourself, okay, or to be a little protective here with the 9 of Wands, to set up boundaries. Maybe with someone in your circle with the 3 of Cups, you know, maybe you feel that this could potentially lead to some kind of heartbreak. Maybe someone's coming on strong. I don't know. Okay, let's see. Taurus, what's the message here for Taurus? Where's the 9 of Wands there for Taurus? Why is the 9 of Wands there for Taurus? 5 of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune. You're guarded because you don't want things to change. Maybe this person is in your friend group, Taurus. You don't, yeah, with the Page of Wands, you don't want to initiate anything. You don't want to get something started because you may feel like this is something you will come to regret. Okay, you seem to see potential for heartbreak. Maybe someone's partnered. Okay, and that's why it doesn't seem like a good idea to get involved. Let's look at the 3 of Cups, 2 of Cups, and one more. There's a 3 of Cups there for Taurus. The Emperor and the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a thing. You're guarded here, okay? I think you have feelings for someone, genuine feelings. Maybe someone in your circle. With the Emperor and the Page of Pentacles, though, I feel it's up to you. The choice is yours, whether you want to go towards this person and you're holding yourself back. Maybe they're partnered or maybe you are, okay? Let's look at the 3 of Swords. Strength. And the King of Cups. Yeah, I think you have feelings for this person, Taurus, but you're holding yourself back, okay? With Strength. You're holding yourself back. You're setting up boundaries. Yeah, with the Lovers, you know, it could be a third party, okay? And you don't want to be tempted. And you're setting up some boundaries here, okay? Which is good because I think, yeah, you're right. There is a potential for a lot of heartbreak here. Okay, let's look at the 5 of Cups. Ace of Cups, the Moon, and the Knight of Swords. Yeah, I think you have hidden feelings for someone. You don't want to regret changing this dynamic between you of friendship, you know. And so you're going to keep these feelings hidden, okay? Let's look at that Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, 4 of Pentacles. So you're holding back. Now let's look at the Emperor. For some of you, it could even be, yeah, with the 9 of Swords, you know, you're worried about the situation and so you don't want, you know, you're going to hold back, okay? Now for some of you with that Emperor here and this 3 of Cups, you could be a boss of this person, okay? There's something about this relationship which means you need to set up boundaries, and I think you're doing that. Yeah, for some there could be an age difference, like you could be this person's mentor or boss or something, okay? And it's not appropriate to do this. Yeah, you know, with that Emperor and the Page of Pentacles, I'm getting like a teacher-student, okay, for some people, or a boss and, I don't know, a young employee. Okay, let's look at Strength. Or otherwise, it's just a straight-up third party. Let's look at Strength. 2 of Cups. Yeah, I think there are genuine feelings here, but you decided to hold back. Taurus, you have feelings for this person, but I think with the 7 of Wands, you're resisting. You've set up boundaries. And I think you're right to do that, okay? But there's something about this relationship that is, you feel you do need to hold back from it, okay? Okay, so that's what I got for you. And let's move on to Gemini. Okay, Gemini, let's see. What's the full moon in Taurus bringing up for you, Gemini? What's the full moon in Taurus bringing up for Gemini? What's the message here for Gemini? Message for Gemini. What is the full moon in Taurus bringing up for Gemini? Seven of Wands. Justice and the Three of Wands with the Two of Swords. So some kind of decision's been made here, Gemini. Someone wants to fight for justice, okay? Somebody wants to fight, maybe even through the courts, right? With the Three of Wands, it feels like for their future. Wow, okay. So this could be like a big energy where someone's determined to fight some kind of social cause even through the courts, okay, or something like that. Let's see. Okay. Why is the Seven of Wands there for Gemini? Two of Cups. Star. Wow. This is what you want to fight for, Gemini, okay? There's something you know, you're full of hope for and you feel strongly about with the Two of Cups. And with the Five of Pentacles, you're resisting your insecurities, any fears you have, and you're prepared to fight for this. Now let's look at Justice. There's Justice there for Gemini. There's Justice there. Queen of Cups. And the Hanged Man. Yeah, you feel differently about something, okay? And with this Queen of Cups, it's about being receptive. So with the Wheel of Fortune, you may feel like now is the right time to do this. For some of you, you may be fighting for something, a goal or a relationship, I don't know, something. And you feel like now is the right time to do this, to take the plunge. Someone would be receptive, okay? Let's look at the Three of Wands. Seven of Wands. And the Sun and the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, you know, when it comes to the future, you want to fight for what's right, for what's, with the Sun, for full transparency as well, with the Knight of Pentacles. For some, I'm getting this overarching energy of fighting for justice, okay? That might be only for some people, and they're going to do it through the courts. But for others, I think if it's a relationship, then there's something you really want. You may want to marry someone, okay, and you're determined to do this. Maybe you recognize that this person would now be receptive, you know, something like that. You see a future with someone and who makes you happy, and it's like you're not letting anyone get in the way of that. Let's look at the Star. Because we got that Seven of Wands twice. That's a real determination to fight. Let's look at the Star. Why is the Star there for Gemini? Strength. See, it's super solid determination, Gemini. Wow. Okay. Let's look at that Queen of Cups. Three of Pentacles. Yeah, you feel like this person would be receptive to a relationship with the Three of Pentacles, to working together, okay? Let's look at the Hanged Man. Ace of Wands. You're fired up, you're seeing things a different way. You now see that someone would be interested in partnering up with you, okay? Like maybe in the past you thought this person wouldn't be willing to work with you, or they wouldn't be receptive to you. Now you're seeing it differently, and now that you know that they are, it's like you're not letting anything get in the way of this. Let's look at that Seven of Wands again. Yeah, Page of Pentacles. You're determined to start something, okay? Maybe even make an offer to this person. Let's look at the Sun. Knight of Wands, Eight of Cups, the Fool, and the World. Yeah, you're ready to take a leap of faith, something, you know, big. With the Knight of Wands and the Eight of Cups, you're ready to walk away, okay? Maybe even a little impulsively. because it's like you feel you're walking towards the sun, you're walking towards your happiness, and it's like you just want to rush and do this. Yeah, it's like you're in such a hurry to have this new future. Let's look at that Fool. Yeah, the High Priestess. I mean, and the Wheel of Fortune. See, you're keeping it a secret, with the Sun and the Wheel of Fortune. It all just seems amazing, okay? And here you are, the Magician. You're trying to make all of this happen and you're determined to do it. So if it's a relationship, you're not letting anything get in the way of it. This person is the one you want with the Star and the Two of Cups. They're receptive to you, to being in a serious relationship. Maybe they're receptive to a legal commitment. And so you're not letting anything stop you. You're going for this, okay? Wow, okay. So let's move on to Cancer. Okay, full moon in Taurus. What's the message here for Cancer? Full moon in Taurus. What's the message for Cancer? Full moon in Taurus. What's the message for Cancer? Message for Cancer. The Empress. Oh wait, there's two. Knight of Cups, the Empress, and one more. I've got two, Death and the Two of Swords with the Nine of Swords. So there's some kind of stressful time, with this Knight of Cups. Someone's coming towards you, Cancer. With the Empress, that's your energy, okay? You're sitting pretty. This person's approaching you. With Death and the Two of Swords, this person could be feeling guilty about something, okay? Because with that Nine of Swords, I don't think that's your energy, right? The Empress seems to be sitting pretty. I don't think it's you. I think it's this person is driven by maybe even guilt for some of you. Yeah, maybe guilt, and they're coming to make an apology. Maybe they ended things with you and they're not sure now how to change that dynamic, okay? Something like that. Let's see. Cancer. What is the message here for Cancer? Full moon in Taurus. Message for Cancer. What is that Prince of Cups there for Cancer? Oof, the Four of Wands and the Devil. This person is obsessed maybe with being in a relationship with you. With the Nine of Swords. Oh, with the Knight of Wands. There's some... This person may have done something impulsively that is stressing them out. For some of you, they could have... I'm getting for some of you, this person may live in the home with you. Okay, the Four of Wands and the Devil. Eeks. They may have acted on something, okay, with that Knight of Wands, done something impulsively, and now they're filled with worry and guilt. Let's look at the Empress. There's the Empress there. Tower. Oh my gosh. Okay, one more. There's the Empress there. Where's the Empress there for Cancer? Death. Yeah, this might come out of the blue. The Tower and Death. This could come out of the blue. Let's look at Death and the Two of Swords. What is that there? Seven of Wands. Seven of Swords. And one more. And the Three of Swords and the Eight of Cups. Gosh. So I think actually this is someone who is in a home with you. Okay. With the Four of Wands and the Devil. This, if I'm getting you as the Empress here. I think this could be a sudden ending here. Okay, a sudden shock ending. I'm getting that. you might make this decision to end it, okay, with the Seven of Wands, you know, being determined to overcome. With the Seven of Swords and the Three of Swords, it feels like this person's sneaky stuff, whatever they did, which is seen as a betrayal, okay, leaving that behind and ending this. And that might be a shock to this person, okay, because an Empress energy is not going to stay in a home with an energy like that. Okay, so let's see. Okay, Cancer, what is the message here for Cancer? Full moon in Taurus, what's the message? Why is Devil there? Why is the Devil there for Cancer? Nine of Swords. Yeah, this person's very guilty, okay? Why is the Devil there? Yeah, the Hermit. I think they're trying not to look at their guilt, but they are, okay? We've got the Nine of Swords there as well. Yeah, this person has acted on something with that Knight of Wands, and we've got the Ace of Wands. This person has acted on something, they've done something reckless, and now there's guilt. Let's look at the Tower. Yeah, Temperance. It's like the peace has been shattered here. The false illusion, maybe. Let's look at the Tower again. Two of Swords. Yeah, they're not sure how to fix this. Okay. Let's look at Death. The Tower. See? A sudden ending. Let's look at Death again. With the Five of Wands. So I think Cancer, if you're the Empress, when you suddenly realize that this person has introduced other people into the mix, you're going to make a snap decision to end it. Okay. Let's look at that Seven of Wands. Yeah, Four of Cups. You're determined to overcome this. Yeah, we've got the Empress again. You're choosing yourself, okay, as the Empress energy. You won't stay with somebody like that. Let's look at the Seven of Swords. Yeah, this person, you're setting up a boundary with this person, okay? You're going to set up a boundary. Let's look at the Eight of Cups. Yeah. I think you're going to walk away. You're going to walk away from this. Yeah. Let's look at that Hermit. Ace of Cups. The Moon. I think there's some hidden thing that this person has entered into, okay? Some sort of hidden thing that they rushed into, which is now causing them a lot of guilt. But I think when you come to know about this, let's look at that Tower. Yeah, Page of Swords. You're gonna hear the truth, okay? And then when it comes to looking at the future, it's like you're gonna end this. You're gonna have the courage to end this and to walk away, because you're not gonna put up with it. With the Seven of Cups, you're not interested in that sort of a relationship. Okay, so that's what I've got for you, and it's not going to apply to everyone, just some of you maybe. Okay, so that's Cancer. Let's move on to Leo. So we've got Leo, Virgo, and Libra. Okay. Leo, what's the full moon in Taurus bringing up for Leo? What's the message here for Leo? Full moon in Taurus. Full moon in Taurus. What's the message for Leo? What's the message here for Leo? Full moon in Taurus. We've got the Hierophant. Oh, what is this? Seven of Swords. The King of Cups and the Knight of Wands. Gosh. Okay, with the Empress. So with the Seven of Swords right in the middle, I mean, it seems like people aren't being honest here. Someone's not being honest about a commitment that was made here in the past. With this King of Cups and the Prince of Wands, the Knight of Wands, it feels like someone's feelings, they're not being honest about their feelings. Okay, they actually want to move off maybe in another direction. This Hierophant faces this way, the King of Cups is looking the other way. It's like this person has got their eyes on something else. With the Empress, there's a new life at stake here, like a chance to build something new. Maybe it's the chance to have this commitment, okay, but now someone's focused somewhere else. Let's look at Let's look at clarifying this. What's the message here for Leo? What is the message for Leo? Leo, full moon in Taurus. Let's look at the Hierophant. Why is that there for Leo? Ooh, what is this? 7 of Wands reversed and one more. 6 of Swords. Yeah, someone's deciding to give up on this. They want to move on from this commitment, okay? With the 4 of Wands, yeah. It was a serious commitment. Maybe Leo, you bought a house together, you know, and this person, either you or this person, whoever it is moving on. Let's look at the 7 of Swords. There's a 7 of Swords there for Leo. There's a 7 of Swords there for Leo. 2 of Cups reversed. Yeah, this feelings are not mutual anymore. Let's look at the 7 of Swords and the 4 of Swords. Someone's had time to think about this, okay? And the fact that the feelings are not mutual, and it's this King of Cups person. Let's look at, why is the King of Cups here with another Wands? King of Swords, yeah. Page of Pentacles. This person's ready to cut this out. If they made an offer or commitment, like a proposal, they're going to backtrack on that, okay? Let's look at the King of Cups with the Knight of Swords again. Yeah, the Queen of Wands. So this person's focused somewhere else. Now, for some of you, I mean, you know, for some of you, I mean, this is you, the Queen of Wands, and they're becoming a little detached about this proposal. Okay. 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 Let's look at the 7 of Wands reversed. Why is the 7 of Wands in the reverse? Five of Wands. I think there's a lot of conflict in this relationship, Leo. There's a lot of fights. It's not like an easy connection, okay? And someone doesn't want to fight anymore. They're just giving up on this. They just want to move on. Let's look at that 6 of Swords. Yeah, Page of Swords. I think they just want to, they've learned something about this commitment that they made. That it's full of drama maybe, or if it's not drama, it's just combative, okay? Like a lot of arguments, whatever, and they've decided they don't want this, they want to move on. Now let's look at the 2 of Cups reversed. Yeah, Temperance. I mean, this person is not interested in, I mean, they don't feel the same way, but I think with Temperance, it's being masked, okay? Because it's clarifying the 7 of Swords, which is a deceptive thing. So the fact that this person, so I'm getting like, maybe you and this person had a commitment, but it's not been easy going. There's a lot of arguments, and they may be becoming withdrawn with that. You know, they're just not bothering to fight or argue. They're just quiet. They're just trying to keep the peace here. But what they're really concealing is the fact that their feelings have changed. And with the King of Swords, they're getting ready, I feel, to go somewhere else. You know, with that Knight of Wands, it's all looking off somewhere else. Let's look at that King of Swords. Yeah, 7 of Pentacles. You know, for some, they're waiting for the right time. For others, they could be consulting lawyers. Lawyers could be telling them what to do. Okay, if you've got a legal tie with this person. Let's look at the Page of Pentacles. The Empress. Yeah, they see a new life here. Where they did see a new life maybe with you in the past, and the feelings have changed. Okay, let's look at the Queen of Wands. For some of you, this is you. 9 of Cups, and for some others, this is somebody else. Okay, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and they wish to go towards that person. So I mean, you know who you are, right? Either you are this King of Cups who feels differently about a commitment, or you're the other person. Okay. Let's look at this 4 of Swords. Yeah, the Chariot. See, this person is concealing the fact that they plan to move on from this. You know, but with this 8 of Swords, they could feel stuck and trapped. So it feels like they're just biding their time. Okay. They're biding their time till they can move on. That's what I've got. Okay. So that is you, Leo. And let's move on to Virgo. Virgo. Okay. Okay, full moon in Taurus. What's the message for Virgo? Full moon in Taurus. What's the message here for Virgo? I'm going to timestamp all of these. Okay, so should make it easier. What's the message for Virgo? Full moon in Taurus. What's the message here for Virgo? Full moon in Taurus. What's the message for Virgo? Oh, what's this? We've got the world, the star, and one more. Oh, let's see the Four of Wands, but didn't flip out. What's the message for Virgo? Oh, Ace of Pentacles. Okay, I'll take that. Wow. With the King of Wands. Okay, so Virgo, you're really fired up here with the King of Wands. You're very confident. Okay, with the world, this is starting something brand new. With the star, it's a dream, right? It's going for your dreams, a dream opportunity with the Ace of Pentacles, and you're very confident about doing this. Okay, that's great energy. Let's look at this world. For some of you, it might involve travel, you know, but it's with the star, it's something you greatly desire. It's something aspirational. Let's look at the world. There's a world there for Virgo. Nine of Wands. The Fool. See, in the past, you've held yourself back from taking risks. And now that's what's ending. You're ready to take a risk. You're coming out of your comfort zone. You're letting go of things that were holding you back. Okay. Let's look at the star. Wheel of Fortune. Wow. And one more. There's a star there for Virgo. Eight of Swords. Yeah. This getting over your fears in order to go for this, Virgo, it's a fated turn of events, okay? It's like fortune's favoring you and now's the time to do this. It's like the stars are aligning. Yeah, the King of Pentacles, you know, this is something you see as going to be very fortunate for you. It could be a dream job, okay? Let's look at this Ace of Pentacles. Nine of Swords. Yeah, you're getting over your fears. There's the Ace of Pentacles there for Virgo. Wow, that's a lot. Okay. Yeah, Three of Cups, Tower, and Death. The Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, you're prepared to go it alone to pursue your dreams. And this could just be even figuratively, like, you know, like emotionally. As in, even if other people don't support you, you're ready to do this. Okay. With the Nine of Swords, you're conquering your fears about this. Maybe conquering your fears of what other people will think, your friends group, you know, with the Three of Cups. You are getting ready to disrupt the status quo here, okay? Maybe even with friends, co-workers, and just pursue what it is you truly want, which is great. I think it's very empowering, okay? Let's look at the Fool. There's a Fool there. Yeah, Page of Wands. And one more. The Sun reversed. See, in the past, you held yourself back from taking these risks. With the Sun reversed, maybe you didn't see a way to start these things, or you weren't sure maybe how to initiate these kind of big moves, okay? You couldn't see the path ahead, you know, and so you were quite guarded. Let's look at the Wheel of Fortune. Two of Wands. Yeah, now you're at a crossroads and you're at a place in your life and a time in your life when you can do this, and it's fated, okay? Some of you could be going through Saturn returns, okay? And things have completed and now new opportunities are opening up. Let's look at that Eight of Swords. Yeah, you're getting over your fears, and for some of you, you're learning to put yourself first with this Ace of Cups. I feel like it's almost self-love. You're putting yourself first, okay? Let's look at the Nine of Swords. Yeah, Ace of Pentacles. See, this, you know, where you would not have taken this sort of risk before, you're ready to go for it. Let's look at the Tower. The Nine of Cups and the Chariot. See, now you're ready. You want to go for what it is you want, and I feel like you're disrupting the status quo. You're disrupting maybe friends groups Virgo, co-workers, people who may have relied on you to be there in the mix, partying with them. You're leaving them behind and going for what it is you want. And I think they could see that as very disruptive. Let's look at death. Yeah, Five of Pentacles. And one more. Justice. Where you felt that you couldn't do the right thing for yourself. There was some insecurities about doing this. I think that's ending. That's ending. Okay. And now you're confident about going for this. Yeah. Wow. Let's look at the Chariot here. Yeah, the World. See, you're moving. Okay. For some of you are literally moving. Let's look at the Five of Pentacles. Why was that there? Page of Swords. This could be things you've learned in the past, okay? Learned behavior, maybe about the way others see you with the Six of Wands, things you've been told by other people, like that you believed, that fed your insecurities. Like maybe people said, hey, you're a team player, you're not cut out, I don't see you starting a business, something like that. It's things you've internalized, insecurities based on stuff you learned, okay, or you heard. And that's what's that's what's coming to an end. And with the King of Wands now, you're very confident. You don't care what these people think. You're choosing you and you're going for your dreams, So that's a wonderful energy there. Okay, so that's great. So that's Virgo. And let's move on to Libra. Okay, Libra. What's the full moon in Taurus bringing up for Libra? What's the full moon in Taurus bringing up for Libra? Full moon in Taurus, what is it bringing up for Libra? What's the message for Libra? What is the message here for Libra? Full moon in Taurus. Okay, take that. Page of Wands. What is this? Page of Cups, Four of Wands with the Queen of Swords. Okay. So Libra, there's some initiation here with the Page of Wands, the Page of Cups. It's like an outreach. With the Four of Wands, though, it is serious business. Okay, it's something long-term, stable. For some of you, I'm getting you could be putting in an offer on a house. I don't know. I just got that. So for some of you, that might be the case. Okay, let's see. Message for Libra. Full moon in Taurus. What's the message here for Libra? Okay, let's look at this Page of Wands. Where's that there? There's a Page of Wands there. Ooh, what is this? The Hierophant and the Four of Pentacles. Yeah, so you're going to take action here, Libra. You're releasing things you've held on to for a long time, okay? Some of you are letting go of a commitment and you're initiating a new chapter, okay? And maybe that's why you're putting in an offer on a house, okay, for some of you. Yeah, with the Eight of Cups, you're definitely leaving things behind. Let's look at this Page of Cups. Yeah, the Hanged Man. And one more. Yeah, you see things very clearly now, okay? With the Hanged Man and the Sun. This is also seeing your own future, what makes you happy. For some of you are letting go of a commitment that you held on to for the wrong reasons, or you just held on to it, but it didn't really make you happy, okay? There's an end to holding on to that. You see your future differently now. And for some of you, that involves moving maybe even to a different house. Let's look at the Four of Wands. Yeah, Ten of Swords and one more. Queen of Wands, yeah. I mean, the fact that for some of you, I mean, it's possible that there's a third person here, okay? And so some of you have to move out of the house, yeah, something like that. But you also see your happiness differently. That's what I feel. Okay. Now let's look at this Hierophant. Where's a Hierophant there for Libra? Six of Swords. Yeah, it's time to move on, Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, it's slow going, but I think you are planning to move. Let's look at this Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles. See, you've been clinging on to things for too long, Libra. Yeah, with the devil, you know, it's maybe it's become a very codependent relationship. You've been holding on for dear life, and but with the death, you know, with the death creeping up behind him, that's coming to an end. Okay, that is coming to an end. Let's look at the Hanged Man, the Lovers, and one more. Five of Wands. Some of you could have been, you know, clinging on to a connection, a commitment, right? Because you wanted to win over a lover, okay? Like you didn't want this Queen of Wands, maybe, who's the third party, to have your partner, okay? And so you wanted to win that competition, and so you could have been clinging on to this marriage, but that's coming to an end. You're beginning to see that that's not serving you. Let's look at the Sun. Yeah, the Chariot. It's clear now that you need to move on for your own happiness, okay? It's not in trying to prevent this person from getting with someone else. Let's look at the Sun. Yeah, the Hermit. You know, you're focused now on what it is you want, okay? What's going to make you happy, and that's the right thing to do, right? That's a healthy way to be. It's not about trying to stop someone else from finding their happiness, okay? Let's look at this Queen of Wands here. Two of Cups. Yeah, there's someone that they're in love with. Or this could be you in love, right? And they want to be single to go and be with this person, okay? And so I think some of you have just tried to stop this. Okay, let's look at the Lovers. Four of Swords. And Nine of Cups. See, you wanted to heal your connection, okay? Maybe even after you found out about this third party, some of you have wanted to stay and heal because you didn't want to let go. You were so resistant to letting go of this person, because it's a competitive energy. You wanted to come out on top. You didn't want this lover to have them, okay? That's what I'm getting. But now it's like you see the light and you see that that's not serving you, okay? And so you're ready now to move on. You're ready to move towards your happiness and what it is you truly want. I think that's a good energy, because now with the Ace of Pentacles there are new opportunities coming your way. With the Wheel of Fortune as well, there's you know, fortune will favor you. Okay, this is the right time. This is the right move to make. It's not serving you to stay in this other situation anymore. Okay, so that's what I've got for you, Libra, and I think that concludes everybody. So please do tell me in the comments if it resonates, and I would love to hear from you, okay? And please do hit like, share, and subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. It helps the channel. And I'll see you next time.